Oh shit, we're back. It's the You're an Idiot podcast. I'm Alex Dragovich. We got a fucking fantastic guest for you guys today. The wonderful, the hilarious Christopher Barnes.
Yeah,
everybody.
what's up, everyone?
Chris
Thanks
Barnes.
for having me, dude.
Yes, of course. Thank you for coming on. You're a native New Yorker, so I kind of want to get into this right away, right off the bat. How long have you been in New York for? Your whole life? Then?
I grew up on Long Island.
Yeah.
Right. So suburb of New York. I've lived in New York City about 8 years, I would say. Yeah, I'd say I'm pretty seasoned.
And as a quick background for everybody, it's where'd you go to school?
I went to school Albany in upstate New York.
Holy shit.
Real dump.
That's a piece of shit.
It's a real dump, yeah.
Well, we're glad you're down here, dude. But you know you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about here. I want our listeners to get in on this. This is kind of what New York is, I think, in a nutshell. My roommate put it in order to that the water heater was broken. Our water wasn't
put in a ticket
as hot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Put in a little ticket. Landlord comes by, my roommate's not there. And landlord comes by, he goes, "Oh, you want the water hot or something like that? You want me to check it?" I was like, "Yeah, great." He checks it. He's like, he puts it all the way up to hot. And it's very, very hot. And he goes, and he looks at it, he goes, "It's working. What's the problem?" And I was like, "Oh, I think and I've experienced this too." And I was like, I think it kind of cools down after 10, 15 minutes. And he goes, "You're showering for 15 minutes?" and I was like, "Well, what do you mean? How long do you shower for?" He goes, 5 max. I go, "Well, I think, he goes, are you showering back to back?" And I was like, "I guess sometimes." And he goes, "No, you can't do back to back." I was just like, dude, what if we shower back to back? We're paying rent.
Yeah, it's your place.
We just want hot water.
Yeah.
I've never had a landlord just be like,
"Oh no, you can't be showering back to back.
5 minutes max. We're getting maxed out here."
Do you know nothing about apartments?
Yeah.
Number one rule: no showering back to back.
No showering back to back. I was like, dude, I couldn't believe it because now I got to tell Dan what the guy told me. I was like, just being like, "Oh yeah, we can't take longer than."
Yeah.
He has an issue with us. He also did this where I had to caulk and seal my floorboards.
You're doing that yourself?
Well, I told him, I was like, "Hey, the floorboards are kind of finicky and all this shit."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh yeah, you just gotta caulk and seal them. It's not a big deal." And I was like, "Okay, you're gonna have the maintenance guy come by?" He goes, "To be honest, maintenance guy, he's not the sharpest. He's not my best guy." I go,
so you're like, "Okay, get a new guy maybe?"
So, yeah. "Do you have a new guy?" He's like, "It's my only guy. He's my only guy." And I go, "Well, what do you want me to do?" He goes, "I can take you step by step how to do it." Dude, I caulk and sealed my floorboards.
Yourself?
Myself.
Well, I've had to fix a lot of stuff in my old apartment.
Yeah, so give me some, do you have any, can you corroborate some New York stories here?
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I mean, the biggest issue was I lived in Astoria, Queens for a while, which is, if you don't know New York at all, it's kind of a quieter part of New York. It's a little out of the way. It's kind of a journey to get there.
Yeah.
But I lived in this neighborhood and I had a big issue because I had an apartment with a skylight, which is very nice, right? You think, oh, it's great. Skylight,
love a skylight.
natural light. The problem was that it started leaking. And we would get, sometimes in September and even in the spring, we get some real heavy rain.
Sure.
And even over the summer, a lot of heavy rain. Dude, I had Titanic levels of water coming through my roof. It wasn't even the skylight. It was coming through the roof. I had to put buckets down. Yeah. And even then it was overflowing it. My landlord was his advice was protect the hardwood floors. He didn't even, I'm like, you got to fix the roof. And then he would go up there himself.
Oh no. Yeah,
he's just a guy, by the way. All landlords are just guys.
Yeah. And most of them, you don't know their race, which we'll
You
get
don't know
into
their
in a
race.
It's
ambiguous.
Often an ambiguous race.
Yeah. I don't know what he was. He could have been a Greek or Egyptian. I've narrowed it down to those two. I don't know what he is. That's all I have.
It's a shot in the dark.
You don't know. He's always screaming.
Yeah.
He comes in, he's trying to fix the roof himself. He tried to fix the roof himself for about a year. So every time it would rain, we'd have I got used to it.
Yeah.
I started wearing a raincoat in my own apartment. And the reason I stayed was because the rent was so cheap.
So that's where that's the give and take.
It is the give and take.
So we've had issues all year.
And
my landlord was in the past couple weeks, he was like, "You guys have been great, man. A lot of times I'll just, if someone's like a nuisance, I'll raise it on them. But like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to raise the rent on you guys because you've been so great. And it's like, well, yeah, like you haven't.
Yeah.
You're the worst guy.
You're the worst. You're lucky that we are still here.
Like I know, there's a lot of illegal things you've been doing.
Oh, my landlord.
That's why you're not raising the rent on me.
So many illegal things. So he'd be on the roof and he'd try to fix himself. After a while, he had to like pay a crew, and then like the crew got mad at him and like he didn't pay them. I don't know, whole thing.
No,
but like,
wow,
he redid the whole roof, which is great. But I mean, for about 6 months, they took forever. The noise on the roof was crazy.
So, and sleeping is like that's an issue. Like,
it was an issue. Yeah. Now another good thing about this apartment, the reason I stayed was because we didn't pay utilities, no electricity, no water, no gas. We didn't pay any utilities.
Okay.
And in the summer, it gets real hot in the city, real hot.
Yeah.
I used to have 4 different AC units just blasting every room. My roommate's room, the living room, the kitchen, all at once. Dude, I wouldn't even be in the apartment. I'd leave
like,
for 2 days and just be like, nah, we're running it the whole time.
We're running it.
I want to come back to an Arctic environment.
It gets so hot, dude.
He got so mad at how much money we were spending that this is a true story. I was staying over at my girlfriend's place one night, and my other roommate woke up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom, and he caught my landlord in our kitchen turning off our AC units with his hands. Okay.
No. What time?
It was like had to be 1 a.m.
He broke in.
He came into the apartment.
The intruder landlord.
And so my roommate goes, "What the fuck?" He goes, "Oh, hey." He was like, "Oh, where is?" He goes, "Is Chris around? Where's Chris?" Like just trying to like.
What are you doing here?
Yeah, he was like, "What?" He's like, "Oh, I thought no one was home. I wanted to turn off the AC unit." He goes like,
way.
"What are you doing?" He goes, "Okay, I leave now."
He fucking broke in.
Yeah, he broke in.
Wow. He completely.
I mean, to be fair, he had a key to the apartment.
It is his place.
So next morning, we went to Home Depot. Changed the locks on his ass.
Did you really?
Yeah, changed them all.
I think you.
Yeah,
I think you
well
could do
within
that.
our rights to do that.
Yeah. Did you? You don't really talk to him about that. You don't go, "Hey,
I never brought
it
up. I never brought it up. It was such a weird thing to do that I had it in my back pocket to bring up because at some point he tried to raise the rent and I was ready to pull out that like, well, didn't you break and enter into our apartment one night?
Of course.
Like in July 2023, didn't that happen?
Yeah. These guys don't want to go like super litigious.
No, they don't. Anytime you start to threaten a legal action, they cave, dude.
New York is a place where like the old school kind of highballing, lowballing people, you can still kind of haggle.
You can haggle
for like a lot of things out here.
Honestly, having a good relationship with your landlord is a huge red flag. It needs to be a contentious thing.
Oh.
You need to be, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Your landlord and yourself, you need to kind of be on speaking terms, but barely.
Yeah.
There needs to be a riff, okay? Because I feel like if like you have a good relationship, you're getting fucked.
When either of you text each other, you both should be like, "What the fuck does he want?"
When exactly. When I would get a text from my landlord, I'd be like, "This fucking guy." Like,
it's a very what
never
the
good.
fuck.
Yeah, I would go, "What the fuck do you want?"
This piece of shit's hitting me up one more time. I swear to fucking God. But that's what keeps things. It's like that's what keeps things level though. Or else, because one person's gonna have leverage on the
advantage.
other.
Yeah. My advantage was that the apartment I lived in was unlivable, really, to most people. I mean, with the titanic amount of water coming through the roof, the fact that my landlord would break in, we had every apartment has like shower issues, you know.
Yeah, as always.
Yeah.
So our like heat, it does like, and I didn't say this up top like properly, but it does get like go from hot to like
freezing cold.
No, not freezing cold. It goes from hot to like
lukewarm.
It's a bearable lukewarm.
Yeah.
Where like if I wanted to keep showering, I could. It's not amazing. So like if you've got like a hangover, you want to sit in there for like a half hour, that's not gonna happen because it gets a little lukewarm. So I think that's where like Dan, like my roommate, was coming from, where he was just like, where he's like, it does get a little bit worse. And this is my first apartment having that problem.
Really?
I feel
like that's a common issue in New York. I do think that like we all kind of know that like hot water ain't forever. All right, it's just not.
Yeah. Do you have any creepy crawlies? Got any?
Oh yeah, at our last apartment we had some. So I got a new roommate, and like I'm New York tough. All right, and you're Chicago.
You're a Long
tough.
Island guy.
We can like deal with this shit. Like it doesn't. doesn't phase us that much, right?
Lived in the city for a while.
Yeah, and like I got a new roommate, great guy, you know, but man, he couldn't handle, like, we had one little cockroach. It wasn't little, it was pretty decent size, I gotta say.
He's a cute Midwest boy,
size of
isn't he?
my thumb, you know.
Yeah.
Pretty big, honestly. But he was ready to like move out. I'm like, you gotta get tougher, dude. I'm like, every night I go out to do comedy, I accidentally kick a rat. Like,
of course, yeah.
It's the city.
You
know?
have hand-to-hand combat with something.
Yeah,
in some
like
capacity.
I mean, look at the subway. It's disgusting. You just ignore it.
Right,
you know?
right. And that's what, like, the landlord even said, like, when we first moved in, he was like, if you have water on the counters, he's like, that's what attracts like some of the cockroaches.
Yeah, you know,
the
I don't know what.
And I'm always like, okay, I guess.
Yeah, I look it up. I don't know what everything attracts.
Have water? Like, should we not use water?
What are we gonna do? Yeah, everything attracts them. It's like, well, if you have a garbage can, it's like, well, everyone's gonna have a garbage can.
I know, dude. It's really quite.
Do they? So when you would see them, so I haven't really ever talked about this with anyone, but like, we'd always see them at night. They come out at night.
Oh, like ours are like if I go to the bathroom at night and like they're in the bathroom, they're around like where the water is, like they're by the shower, they're by the toilet, by the shower, and you know, like my roommate was like was fucking mad, and they did some things about it. It actually has gotten better. I'm just glad that we're not. Like, we're in the second floor, so like we're not by the rats, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know what I'd do if I've never had a rat in my apartment. I mean, I think that's pretty bad.
That's a bad one. Like the rats, like if the people who are in like garden units, who have to deal with that shit, that's a different thing. But like I can handle. So that was the other problem. I don't know if we talked about this properly, but like but you brought it up off mic, but it was like when we would take a shower and step onto like the mat, like the water would seep through a little bit. We were dripping water into like our basement, like, or to the people below us. Yeah, and that's literally because of that's just how bad the floors are.
That's the building.
That's the building.
Those are building. I mean, most issues are the building. Yeah, like you can't fix that. Have
you tried to fix anything in your apartment besides like the window or anything like that?
Everything, dude. I mean, one time we the fire department had to break into our apartment because because my roommate was like cooking a pizza, and I guess like I don't know if he didn't turn the oven off, and just like all like the molten cheese at the bottom of the oven started like burning. Created smoke. My downstairs neighbor saw smoke coming from our apartment, and they're like, "Your apartment's on fire." I wasn't around, unfortunately. I couldn't get there in time. The whole fire department came, and they fucking like broke down our door, like broke the door hinge.
And you're just playing Xbox upstairs, or
no? I was like doing a spot or something. So I was like, I'm like, tell them not to come yet, and they broke in. So I had to like, and my landlord was so pissed because I mean, whatever. I had to glue our door frame back together. Yeah, and I did a pretty good job, honestly. You wouldn't even notice. Like,
so your landlord was like, so you calling the landlord?
I had to call the landlord. I'm like, hey, listen, they broke down our door, and he was so pissed, and I would be too. Yeah. So I had to like fix it. We've had to fix the shower head. We've had to fix like cabinets. I mean,
you fixed the shower head?
Yeah, we just replaced it with a better one. We actually added a rain shower. You know those ones? Yeah, so we added like a bunch of pipes so it just comes down directly above you. It's pretty sick.
That's really good shit.
Yeah.
So you're kind of a bit of you can fix stuff.
Yes and no. I mean,
handyman.
My old roommate was more of a handyman. I just was there to hold the flashlight. But no, I mean, there's a certain point when you have a relationship with a landlord where you realize that like this guy ain't doing it. It's not even worth telling him. I got to do it myself. Yeah. If I want to be thrifty, I can be like, I'm deducting it from rent for the $4 for whatever. Right. You know, or you got
to do shit on your own.
You have to, because like you said, I mean, he has a guy, and his guy is stupid.
His guy is stupid. His guy doesn't speak English. His guy, which is not, you know, it's if he doesn't speak, if you don't know how to speak English, at least know how to like, you got to fix it's like or else because if you're speaking to me in a different language that you can't fix the thing, then you're just like a guy in my apartment.
You need to, if you don't speak English, you have to come in knowing what the problem is. Because how the hell are you going to mime your issues?
No, it's really having a bad maintenance guy that can't communicate is just he walks around and
Yeah.
just like bangs on stuff.
Yeah.
And then my landlord calls me and go, yeah, he's not great.
He's like, what'd I tell you? I told you sucked. It's like, we'll get a new guy.
Yeah, and I go, okay, well, I guess I'll have to do it. But it is good that you can fix some stuff, because that is also what I wanted to get to. This whole thing, I was watching this on like TikToks on the way over here, like girls like shitting on guys online, just being like, men used to go to war, they can't fix anything, they can't do anything, and it's like, yeah, I think like the modern guy, we can't really do stuff. But this whole thing is like the whole like men used to go to war thing. I was just thinking about it. It's like every movie about a guy going to war, when he comes back, his wife is fucking his best friend.
Yeah.
So is that what you want?
Yeah. Or worse.
You want to fuck Pat?
Yeah.
Is that what you want to do, babe? Is that, I don't get it.
Yeah.
It's men used to go to war. It's like, well, stop fucking our friends when we're at war.
They're just trying to get us out of the house. That's really what they're doing. No, I mean, like, also, it's either they're banging your best friend or your brother, or the men come back and they are not the same.
And they ain't the same.
And it's not good.
Is that what you want? Yeah, do you want the guy to come back?
Men used to go to war. It's like, yeah, and come back and murder you because they thought you were Viet Cong. All right, like, what are you talking about?
Yes, they ingested so much Agent Orange.
Agent Orange.
Yeah. They ingested so much Agent Orange that they smacked you around. Yeah. They have. You don't want them to come home and like scream in the middle of the night.
Yeah, bitch, you want night terrors? All right.
Yes.
First, you're complaining about my snoring.
Yeah.
How about my night terrors?
You don't want your man to come back from war and then you wake up, he's by the window just looking at the moon, saying, "I miss my brothers." Yeah. You don't want that.
Or something like, "It should have been me." Like, you don't want that.
Yeah. You don't want him eating like the dinner that you made, just going, "Yeah,
Nick,
I got to be back there."
Yeah. Johnson, he was only 19. God, I told him not to go in that trench. I told him, but he did it anyway.
Men no one should go to war.
No, war shouldn't be happening. War's got to be on drones now.
Yeah,
right. We're at that point.
Well, because and what better for like the video game generation?
Yeah. Oh, Gen Z's ready.
Gen Z is
they'll drone us all up and down.
We probably. I don't know. China will be good at war.
Yeah,
too,
they're gonna be real good.
They got gamers.
They got some gamers.
Because that's what
Well, we also have a lot of Chinese here in America.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, so you watch the Olympics and like some comic had this joke. It's like every country, it's like they have a Chinese team, they have a whatever team, or French team, or Russian team. But it's like we got kind of everything.
Yes,
we got people from all over the world.
We've got like an Asian guy. We've got a Chinese guy for American ping pong.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? When we want to play ping pong, we've got our best Asian.
Yeah.
When we want to,
we're a hybrid team.
The only thing that
we're a team full of specialists.
Do you know what we need though? We need more. We need more like Brazilians.
Yeah.
And like black dudes to play soccer.
Yeah,
that's what we need.
We don't have a lot in this country. No,
we got a few too many whites liking soccer.
That's way too many.
That's how you fix it.
Way too many guys that. Well, I don't know. Soccer's kind of a tough sport. I was going to say too many guys that like to paint their nails playing soccer, which I don't think is accurate. But
no, but it is like it's. I had this argument like months and months ago, but it was just like I think because we had guys who want to play basketball and football, so they never play soccer.
That's right.
Their best athletes play soccer.
That's right. Well, it's just soccer needs to become more popular in America, and unfortunately, American football is just too good right now.
Yeah,
until they really prove that, like, hey, playing the sport in any capacity will give you CTE, which we're probably like 15 years away from that.
I mean, it's still, dude, it's been proven. These guys are, I guess, the modern guys who come back from war is like a linebacker. Yeah, comes home.
That's the modern
and just.
But at least if you are the wife of a linebacker, you at least have a life filled with millions and millions of dollars. Right. And you know that you're going to get it one day.
Yeah.
You know that one day they're going to snap.
A couple right hooks don't hurt so bad.
Yeah.
When
it's
you got
nice
a couple
in the Lexus. It doesn't hurt as much.
The jabs in the Lexus they're kind of
they don't hit as hard
they don't,
as the jabs in the Toyota Corolla.
Yeah. When you're in like a double wide.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
No.
That's so true, dude. You're a Jets guy though.
Yeah, New York Jets fan. It's a miserable existence. Do you like football? football? I don't know. You're a basketball guy.
I am always down for like the Saturday like college football watch.
Yeah.
Like whenever people if people want to watch somewhere on Sundays. I do a fantasy league, but I'm not like as attached to the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, I mean, well, they suck.
They suck, and yeah,
liking the Jets is almost like just a bit. Like it's kind of a funny bit. You know?
Yeah, because even like Adam Sandler did it in like what Mr. Deeds or something like that. Like
no, he's a Jets fan in a lot of his movies. I think Big Daddy's a Jets fan. Where the little kid goes, the goddamn Jets. Yeah,
it's a laughing stock in the worst way.
Yeah, but it's just like it's just kind of funny to be a Jet. It's just like you have Aaron Rodgers and then he fucking tears his thing in the first game and then he sucks.
Yeah,
and then just everything goes wrong. Like you can give us anybody, it's just gonna be horrible. And it's kind of just funny. So,
you guys had that kid from BYU come through?
Yeah, Zach Wilson.
His like biggest thing was that like his mom was really hot.
His biggest thing was that I follow his mom on Instagram, FYI. So far, I'm obsessed with Mormons. I can't stop talking about them. I love them. And he's a Mormon. He's from Utah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're the perfect guy to talk to then.
I know. Well, his biggest scandal was that there's a rumor that he banged his mom's friend.
Yeah.
And then his ex-girlfriend like talked about it on Instagram. So they ever called him a MILF hunter.
Yeah.
So that was like his thing.
That's the storyline you want before your rookie season.
The Jets always win the offseason. We have the funniest storylines. Like Geno Smith was a quarterback for the Jets. He got punched in the face in like practice and he was out for the season with a broken jaw. We had Sam Darnold, quarterback who really
he's awesome.
He's awesome now. He was awesome for the Vikings. We had him. We drafted him. He was out for multiple games because he got mono from going out in New York City and hooking up with random bitches. Like a fucking...
Oh, is he a little bit of a dog, huh?
Yeah. We just have a lot of dumb idiot dogs.
Well, New York, that's what it is, dude. Like it's like it's the best of both worlds where it's like the media is going to skewer you if you suck, but you can have the best nightlife. You can do anything you want.
Here's the thing about the media. That everyone says, oh, the New York media. Oh, the New York media. Isn't every media tough?
Sure.
Like, if you suck, wouldn't the Chicago media come after you and be like, this guy sucks?
Probably.
Right? I don't know.
I actually don't. I can't speak. I don't know like what like the Pittsburgh Inquirer is
I mean, I just imagine like if you are bad and you are sucking, I imagine the sports writers of that town will not be nice to you because they are trying to sell their articles and whatnot.
When I was at Notre Dame, our beat writer, Tom Noe, was he was very fair and like pretty like if anything, like if there was like a skid or a losing skid, he was pretty tough on us. I remember when I transferred, he even like talked about like how I missed a couple like game winners, like how I wasn't there.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he was like about my trajectory and stuff like that. So he was a very Yeah, I think
you would read this stuff?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. When you're
crazy.
When you, I don't know, because also it's like, you know, someone at my school too would be like, oh, did you see the South Bend Tribune or whatever it was? Yeah, did you see what they said
I can't imagine. Dude, imagine like that you had that now in your life.
Yeah,
imagine you were doing sets and they're like, Alex really did not stick the punchline.
Yeah,
he was doing 10 minutes.
It is an interesting too, because so people always talk about this like it's a different kind of pressure that everyone fucking says this, dude. Mm-hmm. They always say this. They go, how can you not make 90% of your free throws? How can you not make 90% of your free throws? I'm like, dude, shoot a free throw in front of 10,000 people. Shoot 3 free throws in front of 10,000 people. I guarantee you're not making all 3. I can put all my money. You can shoot at the YMCA all day the day before.
Dude, I would cave so badly every time.
It's that like when you get to that pressure, that doing anything in front of that many people is terrifying.
Did you ever miss one in a game that was like?
Yeah.
Okay,
dude.
When you would miss one, when you would take the shot and it bounce off, would you hear everyone go, oh?
Of course.
Oh my God.
Of course, dude. It's a real.
If I do that on my first shot, I'm fucking throwing it over the backboard in the second one. My confidence is shattered.
When you shoot, like you hear the crowd like you can hear like a 3. If a 3 goes up, they'll be like, oh, and then they're waiting for it, and that's why it is making a 3 at that level is the best physical feeling. I think
it's such a cool thing to do because when you shoot a 3, you're already kind of walking back to defense a little bit.
Sure.
So you're kind of doing that walk away, but man, when you miss it, I mean.
No, I know people. I a quote unquote shooter in college, like I could make 95 out of 100 free throws with ease. And it's like when you get there, dude.
Yeah.
And like, let's say you're playing an away game. You're like at West Virginia.
Yeah, and they're going, oh.
It's like, it's fucking making a three like on TV, like in MSG. Like it's these are all people. I don't think people really consider. So I guess like there's already a pressure in general.
Yeah.
So I wonder with these guys, like the New York
media.
That's what I'm saying. Is like I bet the New York media is like, instead of 1 or 2 reporters, it's probably a volume thing.
Yeah.
Instead of 1 or 2 reporters, there's 20 reporters.
That's right.
So Pittsburgh Pirates play a game. This might be 2-3 reporters, whatever. New York, there's
a lot.
The Yankees, there's 30. There's national.
And you got the New York Post, which is just like they don't give a fuck.
And you grew up on like Mike and Mike, right?
Yeah, the talk radio is tough. If you listen to talk radio, sports radio, WFAN, like it's just like show after show of people screaming. And when there's nothing to scream about, they still scream. And the best part, dude, I recently got back into sports. I kind of like left sports for like 5 years.
What do you mean?
I kind of just
I'm gonna have to challenge you on this one, Chris.
Okay, so this is what happened. I mean, when I started comedy, like I just was like focused on comedy.
You left sports.
I just was like less interested. Also, in that time period, all of my teams sucked. Every one of my teams. The Yankees sucked. The Jets sucked. The Rangers sucked. The Knicks were not a thing at all. And like it just was a desert of sports. I was out of it.
But what I can kind of see where you're coming from here, and I can even probably up the ante here. Is that like I think when you're starting in comedy, and this is probably like something interesting to our listeners here, is that it's just like the first 5 years you kind of leave everything.
You do.
You leave.
You drop everything.
Birthday parties.
You leave friends. You leave
100%.
You know, you leave just things that other hobbies. It's also just like a time thing. It's like I didn't have time to like figure out how to work sports into my life or whatnot. And also I was just kind of like uninterested in it. I just lost it a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm getting back into it, or I've over the last like 5 years I've gotten back into it.
Right, because you're not worried every second about like what spots or material or whatever. You kind of have the comedy part of your brain, you like it's now on autopilot.
That's right.
In a way.
And also I can find humor in it. Like for someone like me, I make a lot of like sketches online, and I find like, okay, like I did a bunch of videos playing like Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
You know, like I found a way to like reach my audience through comedy and sports. In addition to that, dude, like if you can chop it up with people sports wise, you're making a bigger connection, the networking aspects of that. People and I'm not even looking at it from like, I'm only like how to win friends and influence people. Like I'm not looking at it from that perspective, but I just noticed that like now that I'm into sports, it opens up a lot more opportunities to like talk to people and, meet people and whatever. It's a social lubricant in a way.
Oh, of course.
If you have nothing else to talk about, you bring up sports.
But that's but that's also the part that like we don't really talk about is those lost years of like when your friends are just like, yo, like it's Steve's birthday, we're going to like Benihana, ironically, like come on, like let's go. And you're just like, no, I'm going to this Irish pub open mic.
Yeah.
And I'm going to work on this bit about cats.
It's a bucket mic.
And that is your life. You go to like social jail. In a way, because also the people that you're around, the comics you're around, it's especially in the entry level to comedy, are psychos and the worst people.
Yeah, it's like half a sane asylum, half like just drunks, half like, I mean, these aren't adding up percentage wise, but like the mix is not good. I would say if you go to an open mic today, I would say there's like maybe 2 of the people are going to be in it long term. At the mic. Maybe 2, sometimes 0. That's an average, by the way.
How often now in the past, however long you've been doing this, like, are you always a little bit shocked by certain, there's some people we know are going to make it.
Yeah.
Then there's a couple of people where you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
You made it, dude. Like that is.
I think I'm shocked more by who quits. Because a lot of people quit, you don't even hear about them. It's unceremonious. It's like they just kind of fade. You never see them again.
Sometimes the funniest people.
Dude, sometimes the funniest people leave comedy. And it kind of gives you perspective because a lot of times they leave because of like they just had to make a decision in their life. and they just looked at the odds and they went, you know what? I think I would be happier if I hedged my bets and just went with this life.
Well, because those people, some of the people, like when you say the funniest people that like leave stand up that like we both know, those people, when they do their act usually comes from like a very like a heartfelt place, a very human place where they've cultivated these ideas that connect with people in a very real way. Yeah. And a lot of people that make it are like cold-blooded. Like they have like they send chills down your spine.
Like they're analytical, they're narcissistic.
Sure,
like
you
got, but like, and it just, I always say this: you have to be some level psycho to be successful. But that's just what business is, though.
It's anything.
It's anything. I mean, if you want to be a successful accountant, you have to kind of be like, I mean, even at work, like people have regular jobs, like it's all the same. Like you have to market yourself within the place to make yourself the best or seem like the best, more importantly. And like position yourself as the leader or whatever.
Michael Jordan at his Hall of Fame speech brought every person that was like an obstacle in his life and said, I don't know if have you heard this?
No, I haven't heard this.
So Michael Jordan gets inducted to the Hall of Fame probably, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, maybe probably 15 years ago. Yeah. And he brought every person that was like, that he had to jump over. So he invited
his ops,
his literal ops. So his like, when he was a freshman, there was like a senior on the team that like beat him one-on-one or something. And he was like, I invited you tonight because like you beat me one-on-one and I had to be better than you. And like, now I'm better than, like he invited like high school teammates,
I guess,
like people from like his life, like that. It's like all these people that were just like, so all these people, some of these people that he brought, they were like, damn, this is really nice of MJ. We haven't spoken in 30 years. He's inviting me.
Wow, he invited me. And then he goes, hey, you beat me one time. And I had to fucking destroy you, and now I'm better than you, and you're nothing.
It's truly, and then this guy's like in a tux, just being like, "Oh fuck!" Like
that's a little crazy.
That kind of sucks that I'm here right now.
Yeah.
Anyone that wants to YouTube the Michael Jordan Hall of Fame speech, it's because like they were talking about
Kobe was like that too.
Of course.
I remember on
like ESPN, like PTI the next day around the horn, they were all just like, so Michael Jordan is like a true psychopath. Like they're like, so Michael Jordan has like real social, like he's got real issues.
Yeah. He's the most competitive person.
Yeah, he's got enemies. He doesn't pay people. But but you're right, to your point. Even the people that we idolize have like a real bad
I look at it
thing about them.
I used to look at it like, oh, I would never do anything terrible. But then I still don't think I would, but I start to realize that there is like, you have to really look at this objectively in like a business sense and realize, like, for instance, like, like if you're a comedian, you're trying to be successful, you need to surround yourself with other successful people. Yeah. Even if you're friends with people that are like, you're really good friends in your comedy, but they're not like, building and growing with you. Of course. Sometimes it's not good for you to be around them.
Sure.
Because like you need to be surrounded by people that are better than you.
Of course.
So you, like Michael Jordan, feel that, you can
I know.
ascend.
It is a
But it's tough because some of the fucking best people to hang with are the cool ones and not the not the funniest ones or the most successful. Yeah.
You ever I heard this once at a I have a friend who was once like, I was like, hey, like, there's a party, over here, like in whatever Bushwick. Yeah. And he was just like, I don't know, man. It's kind of like a bunch of open micers. Like, what are we gonna get from that? And I'm just like, oh, some of them are our friends.
Yeah. No, I think there's a lot. Like, I think like I'm not being like, I'm not hanging out with these people.
No, but it's true, man. Like, some people,
I mean, I'll hang out with anyone, honestly. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that like, you got to be cognizant of your surroundings and like, I do think you always have to put yourself first a little bit to be successful because we are in a way our own little businesses,
Of course.
So, I mean, I still like hang out with anyone. I don't care if they're like successful or not, but like when it comes to like working with people or whatever,
you need motivation, folks.
Exactly.
You need motivation.
I want to be around people that are just so much better than me.
Sure.
Because then it makes me go, oh, I have a long way to go. That lights a fire underneath me to work harder.
Iron sharpens iron, folks.
That's right.
I do want to get to, because we have got a couple questions from listeners here. This is from Rob O'Toole. This is I always ask like before the episode, you guys have any questions for our guests?
Yeah.
I think Rob follows you. He says, "Do you feel like sketches allow you to explore areas that writing stand-up jokes restrict, or is it purely a creative outlet forced by circumstances of how comedy operates nowadays?"
Okay. That's a great question.
I think it's a very good question.
It's a
from
great,
Rob.
well-written question.
Yeah, we got some pretty astute listeners.
I
man.
do think that I mean, it's a little bit of both, but I would say that, yeah, like doing sketches, I always say it's like doing comedy like 3-dimensionally, because with stand-up, like it's like set up punch. I can paint a picture with words. But with like a sketch, I can like layer jokes on top of jokes, meaning like I could have a funny line going, like me saying a funny line. On top of the funny line, I could have a funny scene happening. So there's a lot more like visual humor that goes into it. For instance, I just had like a sketch called The Pope Draft. Where I like basically pretended that the NFL draft was, you know, drafting Cardinals to be the next Pope.
Right.
And I was able to make all these like funny graphics for it. And like those graphics, like I could explain this joke, like, wouldn't it be funny if the draft was this, blah, blah. And that's just very 2-dimensional. But like the fact that I was able to like make a graphic and that was funny. And then like, you know, the draft noise when they make a selection of football. It's like, yeah. So I thought, oh, wouldn't it be funny if it was like Roman chants? So I went, oh. So I added that. So when the draft gets selected, it had that noise.
Yeah.
So that just like, I'm able to really pack in so many jokes into a premise.
There's so much more you can do. Yeah, again, like the only person that can do it like really well, they can make a sketch, a stand-up joke, is like Chappelle.
Yeah.
Like Chappelle's like a lot of Chappelle's jokes are like he'll take you like in the in like the car of the people. He'll do like 4 different people talking.
Yeah.
And not many people can do
and like
that.
Yeah, and you can paint a picture, but like the truth is that like when I'm doing stand-up in the city, like the spots are like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a long enough time to really like, I mean, I have to spend a majority of that painting a picture and like building this world. So it's a little bit more limiting. Like if I'm doing like a long set, I could probably do more of that.
Right.
But just like efficiently, it is better to do it in sketch. And there's also just some things that like I've tried to do stand-up jokes of and they just like don't work.
Yeah.
So then I take that idea and I go, but I can like almost like Frankenstein this into a funny video.
Yeah, dude.
It's a second life for good ideas.
I also just think too, it's like you have to have multiple like you just like I do this pod because I feel like just doing stand up doesn't feel like quite enough.
No.
Today's age. You've got the pod, the sketch, the stand. It's like you have to have.
And like it's important not to like, it's hard to like know like what's worth my time or like, you know, what is the thing.
Right.
You kind of, unfortunately, like you have to do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
You know, like it feels like you kind of have to be everywhere the same way that you kind of have to like be at every club or try to be.
You're often spread so thin. This is a question I ask a decent amount on the pod. It's just like you always feel like the sand is like leaving the hourglass.
That's right.
Like when you're like, it feels like you can never do enough.
Yeah, that's right.
What do you take like concentrated time off ever? Do you plan a vacation? Because I know your girlfriend's also in the industry, so it's like Tommy.
She's been complaining about that actually.
Yeah, Tommy Brennan was
Did she
on
tell you
too.
to say that?
No. Yeah. You ever take your Can you take your girl
to Tulum?
Yeah, can you take her to Tulum for once, dude?
No, like she has been wanting to go on a vacation very badly.
Tommy and his girl,
Tommy Brennan?
Yeah.
Great guy, great comic.
I don't know if he wanted, we just said his girlfriend on the last episode, so that's why I'm saying it. But like she's also obviously a comic, you know, and they're like every other Sunday or certain Sundays, they're like nothing. We're hanging out.
I think we do that unintentionally. Like we don't have it on a schedule. There are just some days that, you know, actually we do a lot of fun stuff together. Like, we will just like, I mean, in this like last year over the summer, like we were just like, let's go to a fucking water park today. Like, and we'll just like go to a water park.
Yeah.
And like, that's fun because you can't really ever like be like nothing. Cause it's like, you'll go to the water park and there'll just be some ridiculous stuff there. And you're like, all right, that's something, maybe that could be funny about.
Sure.
You know? Or we'll just, you know, go shopping or whatever. I mean, you need to balance your life. You have to live life. I remember when I first started, there were a lot of comics that were just like, when I'm not doing open mics, I'm writing. And I'm like, what are you writing about? Because you're not living.
Yeah,
you have to like
a life
do
worth
something.
About. I know.
Yeah, I mean, I think my balance is good. I look at my like life in like week kind of scale. Basically, I'm like, okay, like this week I want to get 2 videos done, or I have spots, or I want to do this many spots, or whatever. Like, I think that's the best way to deal with it.
Yeah,
I can schedule like a week out, kind of, but then things change. Like something happens. I'm like, we gotta make a video about this tonight because it happened right now, or like whatever.
Being topical.
Yeah, being very topical.
Okay, yeah,
but yeah, I haven't been, honestly. We haven't been on vacation. Like it's like my girlfriend does want to go on vacation, and like we need to go at some point. But also like,
I don't
money.
know. Yeah, we gotta do the 4th of July sketch. Gotta do the Memorial Day sketch?
Memorial Day sketch, yeah. Or like, I say to her, I go, hey, tariffs, all right, tariffs. You know,
in your Long Island.
I'm like, hey, I go on Long Island and go, hey, tariffs, all right,
babe.
I can't go to Mexico. We got tariffs there, all right. We're gonna get tariffed if we go to Mexico. They're gonna tariff us.
Yeah, you guys been together for a good while now. I might fucking date a comic, dude. This is what it's gotta be.
Yeah, you gotta. I mean, you don't have to date a comic. I think honestly, I dated a lot of girls, and I never really dated someone in like a creative field. Yeah. And I find that you don't need to date a comic, but you do need to date someone that like gets your life's mission. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I dated a lot of girls that were like, I'd be like, she's like, oh my God, it's so funny, you're a comic. That's great. You're so funny, huh? And then when it came to like me having to explain that, like, hey, I gotta drive to Jersey, right, to go to Bananas. All right, I gotta host a show for 12 people or whatever. Like, and they're like, but what about my friend's birthday? And you're like, no. This open mic's more important than that. Don't you see?
Because it all leads to something. That's
the disconnect.
Because there's no legitimacy for so long. That's the problem.
Yeah, but if you're dating someone who's like a musician or an artist or something, where they're like sacrificing a good portion of their life to like pursue a dream, they'll get your sacrifices for the dream, and they'll understand. Like, there's no question when I tell Karen, like, I have to do this spot.
Of course,
I'm going to do the spot.
Right.
Unless, of course, like it's like something really important. But you know,
funeral.
Yeah,
I gotta do the
even
spot.
Then I'm like, we heard this up. Maybe I can. Yeah, maybe I can go last on the show.
I know, dude. I do want to get to this because I saw you doing this before the show. Male skincare. It's important to you.
Yeah, dude.
Talk to me. What's
you want some tips?
How important is it? How is it like? What's the? I want to see what the question I wrote. I think I wrote this down properly.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So. You're adamant about skincare.
Yeah.
Why? I feel like is it that big of a deal?
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, I think.
Yeah, it is.
I think it is.
I'll do one more anecdote. I had a. Have you done this? Because like I've been.
You have good skin, by the way.
Thank you very much.
You have good skin.
It's
and
really,
I know how old you are. So I would say
33, folks.
Yeah.
No, but it's so I was actually. I remember I was dating this one girl, and one time she was like, "Are we gonna?" She was. One time she was like, "Are we gonna bang again?" I'll say it differently. She was like, "I guess the way she said it was, are we gonna have sex again?"
Okay.
Yeah. She was like, "Are we gonna have sex again?" Because I want to like do my skincare. Is that a thing? Do you think about that? Like your life around.
Skincare to me goes with like. It happens around brushing teeth.
Okay.
So like,
how long is that?
I do it in the morning, and I do like right when I'm about to go to bed.
Yeah.
I'll do the skincare, and I don't always do it. Some nights I like skip it because whatever. I don't know. It takes however long it takes.
What got you into? Why? How much? How bad your skin? I mean, well, now it looks great, but you can't. I guess I wouldn't know.
This is okay. Let me just say this. How do I know that it's worth it? Okay, I turned 30 not that long ago.
Yeah.
Okay. How do I know it's worth it? The benchmark of everyone else my age I knew from high school and college is how I know that it's worth it. Because I look at them and I go, oh my God.
Yeah.
What happened?
Sure.
And then I look at me, and I'm not saying like I'm a youthful boy, you know, or whatever, but I'm just saying like I look like I'm in a different timeline than them.
Oh.
Like half of them look like coal miners now. Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
and it's not just skincare. I mean, it's just like, maintaining your hair and like trying to, stay healthy. Like the reason I'm into it is because, I mean, we live in a very, appearance driven world, and we're pursuing a very appearance driven art form.
Yeah. You gotta have a little hair,
so I mean,
hairline.
it's just true that like, I actually heard Nikki Glaser talking about this. I saw her the other night at the Beacon. She's fucking hilarious. Like Nikki Glaser is one of the best comedians in America today.
An absolute
killer.
An absolute killer.
Killer. Like so funny. She sold I think 8 shows at the Beacon.
Jesus.
Incredible.
Christ.
She was talking about how like she was talking about like fatter people. She was like, if you want to be fat in this industry, you better be good. All right. Because they only allow like 5 of them.
Oh,
right. And one of them's Peppa Pig. That was her joke.
Yeah.
But
because she goes out and looks like she's like,
she
dressed
looks great
for like the Oscars.
Yeah, she looks great. And like it does matter because I think like first of all, I think taking care of yourself is the nicest thing you could do for anyone in your life. Okay? I do think so. I think it's actually good for society that everyone looks as good as they can.
You're considering other people
because like
you have a salad. It's for you.
Exactly. Have you ever looked at someone and you're like you just can't? I'm not trying to be vain, but
always.
Yeah, like
all the time.
Like it's a great thing to do to take care like of your actual health, like not just like your skin, but like your health is important because like what if you don't take care of yourself and then you die young? Like what a shitty thing to do to all your friends and family. Like you piece of shit.
I mean, I do the road. I've been to Cleveland.
Yeah.
They're not considering other people.
No, they're all gonna die too early, and then there's gonna be people that like relied on them, and
maybe
it's just
that's
gonna
what
fuck
it is.
up everything.
People in Cleveland are like, well, I don't look as bad as Jerry, and then Jerry's like, well, I don't look as bad.
Domino effect. That's
Barry.
right.
Yeah, it's like a fat person being like, well, I'm not as fat as that person, and then the fattest,
but it's like good for all aspects of life. Like you look good, you feel good, your mental health is good,
totally.
Everything else is good. There's literally, and can you take it too far and like care so much about your looks that you're just like driving yourself insane and you get a bunch of work done and it's all crazy. Yeah, but I'm not doing that. I'm putting on Kiehl's, and I'm wearing sunscreen.
What's Kiehl's?
Kiehl's? Oh, you don't know about Kiehl's?
No, what's Kiehl's?
It's gonna be the sponsor of this pod one day.
Dude, yeah.
Kiehl's is a store in the mall that sells like skincare stuff, and they really target toward men. And how they do that is by putting a motorcycle in the window of their store. Okay, so you walk by Kiehl's and you see a motorcycle in the window and you think, that's pretty fucking sick.
Yeah.
And it's always like a World War II motorcycle.
Sure.
It's always something from like 1944, right? And you go, that's sick. And then you walk in and all of the skincare products for men are like, do you want to wear moisturizer? We're like, nah, it's fucking gay. They go, well, it's got menthol in it. And you go, all right, well, I like menthol.
Use a kick.
They have like Zin flavors in the moisture. I'm not even kidding. So like they trick you into like, and that's kind of how I got into it.
Oh.
Because I'm like, oh, menthol is like pretty fucking manly. It's like it's like putting liquid or moisturizing cigarettes on your face. So that's how I got into it.
We all got to do things. Connor, do you do skincare?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, what do you do? What are your steps? Walk me through it.
I do SPF in the morning. I got an SPF moisturizer. That's key for a guy pale like me.
Yeah, that's another thing, dude. You gotta wear sunscreen. Because the sun's going to kill you.
My ex wore sunscreen.
No, you have to. It's going to kill you.
That's true.
No, like legit, like you will, nobody wears sunscreen and it's really bad. Like you might not like get like, boils like skin cancer stuff, but it will age you. It will really dry up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So wear sunscreen. Anyway, continue.
We do, sorry.
I want to keep hearing his routine.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty much I do a scrub in the morning. Okay. Don't wash.
Don't do that. Hey, little tip. Don't do that every day. Do that like every other day.
Okay. That's good to know. That's good to know. And then at night, you wash a retinoid.
You do retinol?
Yep.
That's my man, dude.
Yep. And then
retinol. You got to get on that.
What is retinol?
Retinol, I don't even know what it is, but I know that it's like the leading edge of skincare technology right now.
Yeah.
And it's like, it really helps you. It's so powerful.
Yeah.
It's so powerful that they're like, you cannot wear this during the day. It will like really be bad for you if you do.
I think guys, we're so like dick centered.
Yeah.
If it's not your dick, you're like, why do I?
I know.
It's like,
but here's my thing. It all leads to the dick. Because if your face looks good, your dick will get more traffic.
Oh.
Okay? Same thing with your hair. Like I take hair loss medication.
Yes.
I'm on the Perpiche and I'm on the Rogaine. and I'm like, I take care of that.
Is Propecia a pill or no?
Yeah, it's a hair loss pill. Take it once a day.
I just got minoxidil.
That's good.
I'm trying that.
You're good.
Andy
Your hair
Haynes
looks
told me to
good.
do that. So yeah, because I got a little recession here.
Yeah,
but
it's not bad though.
It's not crazy, but Andy was like minoxidil.
Yeah, get on it.
And
people go, oh, like you have to take it for the rest of your life. It's like, yeah, but you have to brush your teeth for the rest of your life. Like
it's a pill.
Yeah. You take the minoxidil pill?
That's what I'm about to do.
Oh, it's like new. That's new stuff.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I do the Rogaine foam. That's what minoxidil is. Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah. To me, I'm willing to let it go, or I'm willing to do it as long as it's a pill. I don't know if I'm willing yet to do the shampoos and everything like that. I don't know.
I like.
But you also have like a hairstyle.
Yeah,
I have short hair.
You do, yeah.
You've got
which is better because then it makes it more effective. It gets into your scalp quicker.
You've got like a thing.
Kinda.
You've got like a late night host potential.
Well, you're trying to compare me to Conan O'Brien.
Essentially, you've got like
who is really one of my idols.
You could have like an NBC. You could have like a news anchor type thing going too.
Yeah, I gotta get a haircut too. Can I bring this up real quick? Not to like.
Sure. Yeah, we're gonna wind down in a second, but last topic here before we get to the Patreon.
Okay, so like, do you have a barber that you go to?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. What is your relationship like with your barber?
He's 75, Italian.
Okay.
Speaks bad English and gives me a bad haircut every time.
Okay. Now you're touching on something that I think I'm dealing with too. You're locked in a toxic relationship with your barber.
Without question.
You cannot leave.
No,
you can't.
I would never. He has to die.
He has to die.
He has to die.
And you have to see him die.
No, I'd go. I go to the funeral.
Yeah. So
I hope I see him die.
Yeah, maybe you'll be his last client.
If he dies,
and then you're like, hey, can you like finish off? Like,
well, it would be a very.
He's like, oh, and he just falls over.
If my barber dies, I'll probably cry more than most relatives.
Really, but he gives you bad haircuts.
It's codependency.
Okay, that's not good. I have a new relationship with a barber. So I started going to a place in New York City that is very. I don't know how to describe this type of guy, but he's like the masculine hipster, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Okay, this guy, he loves vinyls and he like wears like hipster clothing, but he's like, he still looks like he could like kick your ass a little bit, but he's kind of a bitch.
Yeah.
Like he'll paint his nails, but also you're afraid of him.
Yeah.
But he's not gay.
Great.
And he's like, but he knows the history of like the Grateful Dead. And like, it's just like, he's a weird hodgepodge. He like repairs old cars, but also he like does poetry.
Yeah.
This is a very unique type of person. Anyway, all these men got together and they opened up a place in the Lower East Side that cut hair, right?
Yeah.
So I went to go get my haircut there because I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. It's that place you walk in, they go, you want a beer, bro? And you're like, no, it's 1 p.m. on a Tuesday. I'm okay.
Yeah.
You know, I get this guy to cut my hair. First of all, he's young, but he's bald. So that's like not a good sign because it's like, you don't even know.
Sure.
Like, I know you had hair at some point, but like, you don't know the impact.
What do you really know?
Exactly. Like, you don't know the impact of your decisions.
Can't trust a skinny chef.
Exactly.
Can't trust a bald barber.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he cuts my hair and he does okay, but he doesn't do it great. He always like fucks something up that I don't like.
Right.
Right. But he, by the way, I bomb with this guy. I try to make him laugh. I like do a bit and he goes, okay.
Oh.
I'll be like, yeah, so I did one time I dressed up as Joe Rogan for a podcast. And I had a bald cap on it, left a line on my forehead, and I got my haircut directly after I had the line. I go, yeah, we just did this bit. I had wearing a bald cap. I was dressed up as Joe Rogan. And most people would be like, oh, it's pretty funny. He just goes, all right. I'm like, all right, Jesus Christ. So I bomb with him. And then he'll like, one time he was like talking to one of his other guys. And I was like, what was that? And he goes, oh, I wasn't talking to you. And I was like, oh God. So I bomb with him. And you know what I realized? Dude, when someone like you want to like you,
oh yeah, like
doesn't like you, if it's a service job, I'm tipping way more than I normally would.
Yeah.
Dude, I give this guy like a 30-40% tip.
I love it. I love it.
Like, and that maybe if you're working out there in the service industry, like maybe that's how you get more tips. Like, don't be mean, but be kind of like don't care about your client, but in a way, in a cool way where they kind of want your approval.
Be
mysterious.
Neg us.
Yeah. If you neg your clients, you'll get a higher tip because I think maybe I can win them over with money.
Sure.
By the way, I hand him the cash tip. He goes, thanks.
Yeah.
And nothing. Still, I'm like, do I have to give him more money?
Yeah.
Do I have to hand this guy $300 for like a $50 haircut?
If you ask a bartender like, yo, how's the IPA? And he's like, that's all right. I don't know. And you go, what?
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah.
Are you the coolest guy ever?
Exactly. So then like I'm gonna tip him because I want him to like me. And then they kind of maybe the attitude changes a little.
Yeah.
But not enough. So anyway, my relationship and by the way, I have to keep going to him because I like this place a lot. And I look at other people cutting hair and I'm like, these other people look like they'd be good at cutting hair, but I can't switch it up on them.
Yeah.
Imagine I go there and I'm not using them after using them 4 times in a row.
Yeah.
He probably thinks it's hit. I'm just like,
no, dude, it's crazy.
I'm stuck.
The way service kind of industry people interact with you. One time I had a bartender, I wanted to order food.
Yeah.
And I was like, I asked if I could get like a burger or something. And he goes, yeah, but I don't know how long it's going to take. And I was like, oh, like how long does it usually take? He's like, oh, like 10, 15 minutes. And I was like, I was like, is it kind of busy right now? He goes, not really. I was like, what? I was like, so
he's like trying to convince you not to order anything.
Yeah, essentially. I was just like, well, like, should I not get it or whatever? And he's just like, well, I can just check if it's going to take a while or not. I was like, yeah, all right. Like, it's just stuff like that. It's like sometimes bartenders, man, it's a, the bartender I had at Iona in Williamsburg, this guy was high out of his mind. I'm positive because I was like, what kind of light beers do you have? He goes, you mean like by calorie wise? And I was like, sure. I
actually don't know. I guess I'm like, I usually think it's just like looks lighter in color.
Yeah.
And that's the only, right? I don't really know much.
To me, light beer is just like when a beer says light on it.
Yeah.
Like
does it say light?
Do you have Coors Light? Do you have Bud Light?
Yeah.
Isn't that the easiest?
Yeah.
I think maybe that's what he was going off of by color. Because then he was also like, we've got some like not like lighter in calories, but they're not light beers. And I was like, do you have Bud Light? And he goes, yeah. I go, I'll take a Bud Light. it's like shit like that where I'm just like,
yeah,
I don't know, dude. Like, I get it, dude. Like, because here's the thing, your barber sees, and we got to get into the Patreon. It's like, Connor, how long have we been going for?
You're at 56 right now.
Okay, that's not bad. Okay, great. So it's like, you know, some of these, the thing with the service industry guys, they see so many clients.
Yeah.
They see people that want to talk shop.
Yeah.
They see people that want to hang out. Like, they're constantly like people. Yeah, I guess I think that's the problem is that if you catch them on like a bad day or a bad hour, you're gonna think that like
it's on you.
That they're 100%.
And like, I mean, maybe that's what's going on. I think he's just kind of like the chillest guy who just like doesn't have emotions and just makes me feel insecure. But yeah,
what is it about barbers? I've had barbers like that.
Yeah,
what is it about barbers that they think they're the coolest person on the planet? Why do
I don't know. I think it's like,
why do you get to be a dick to me?
I think it's like
for no reason. You cut.
Yeah,
is cutting hair like you didn't like win the Nobel Prize. You're a barber.
Yeah.
Why do you talk to me like I'm a child?
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's like kind of like a lot of times they have this like weird purist like like the importance of barbering and like the lineage of barbering and like the history and like
is it like the skull and bones?
It's like it's like a craft that's like not that like is respected because it's I don't know. I think like with the introduction of like supercuts and like sports clips and all these like chain barbers, they're kind of more like, yeah, we're still doing it the right way.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like a coffee shop that or like a diner that does it the old school way. You know, like so they're kind of like, yeah, we're just better than, you know, like, oh, you went to fucking Supercuts, like paid $20. Like, no, this is craftsmanship. We take time. Like, we talk to our customers. We have a community. So they have a pompousness to them, maybe.
Maybe maybe they think that they're artists in a way that we don't really appreciate.
Yeah, I think that's probably what's going on.
Yeah, I'm like, can you cut my hair? And he's like, I mean, it's not exactly cutting it's more than that.
It's more of sculpting your
life,
your presence, really your future in many ways.
I can reimagine your soul for you, if you want. You know what I'm saying? It's more than we think I'm getting a haircut.
Yeah,
they're like, no, like I'm like cutting an album.
This is gonna be your appearance the next like 3 weeks. You know, like this is important. You know,
this is important. You're like, no, I just want you know, like a 2 on the side.
Yeah, they're like, okay, but like, I am basically changing the way the world looks at you. Okay. Is that? Are you sure a 2?
Are you sure 2?
And by the way, all that's in broken Italian and half English, by the way. So, yeah. Also, you just reminded me of another thing. I would like give him directions, and he would just be like he would be like,
yeah.
He'd be like, really?
I'm like, really?
I don't know. And also, I don't want, you go in there, everyone's getting the fucking weird, like, Macklemore haircut or whatever. I don't want to fade.
Bartenders treat you like they're the hottest girl at the club.
Yeah.
And you're trying to buy them a drink.
Yeah.
But really, you're paying them for a service.
I know.
They're like, why do you?
I know. I love it when a bartender looks just pissed off that you're like, hey, can I? Yep. Yeah. Like, they're just like, what now?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I sat down. I'm here. I want you to cut my hair.
I don't know if you ever, are you dating anyone or no?
No.
Okay, I always get my girlfriend to get the drink. I always do that. Because you gotta, no one wants to talk to a guy. You gotta put the cute, I have to put some bait in there to get a drink.
No, of course.
You know?
I know, especially like guys like us, we've got like the bro-y kind of look. Like some people, we look like assholes already.
I know.
But dude, we're gonna roll into the Patreon now. This has been a great episode.
Yeah.
We're gonna hit the Patreon now. It's like,
do you do an outro?
We've got like an outro song a little bit, but yeah, I want you to do plugs. Where can people find you and where are you gonna be?
You can find me at Christopher Barnes on Instagram. I make very funny sketches if I do so myself. Also at Chris Barnes Comedy on TikTok. Those are really the main 2. I am going on the road. If you go to punchuplive.com/Chris Barnes, you can find my dates. I think this is coming out after I'm headlining New York. Probably, absolutely. I'm doing Long Island, though, on June 13th and 14th, Governor's Brokerage. I am doing Hollywood Improv on June 26th in LA. I am doing Cap City in Austin on July 17th. And also, I'm going to Boston, and I think it's on July 31st. I'm not sure, though. Look for it.
Damn. Look up the boy. He's one of the best comics creators around. He's so funny, guys. Follow his stuff. He's absolutely hilarious. We're going to roll on the Patreon. It's going to get juicy. It's going to get fun. You've been an idiot for listening. Good night and good luck.